All right, guys, welcome back to the Ascended Cast. Today, I'm by myself. Well, I'm not by myself, but it's just me, Matt. We got a special guest today, a local IE legend, a man of many different names, many different aliases. We got Mr. ShiRone, Tyrone, Shiloh Hurd.
There we go. Hello, everybody. This is Shiloh checking in here with the Ascended Cast. Man, this is an amazing opportunity. I'm thankful for the experience, and I'm ready to get into this.
We are going to get into this. So let's just talk a little bit, Shiloh. I've known you for probably a good 10 years, 15 years now, since middle school.
Yeah.
And some memories there. But kind of going back when we talked to other people before, high school is kind of like the culture where we kind of all became friends. Mm-hmm. Our big friend group right now that we have. A lot has to do with our football team.
Yeah. What a team we had.
What about that locker room?
Whole bunch of degenerates. Let's just say that.
But Star Wars, when they're talking about Moss Eisley in the first one, he's like, "There's never been a place full of more scum and villainy."
Yes,
that was our locker room.
That was us. Citrus Valley, represent. Please stand up.
That was some good times. But yeah, talking about that, man. Freshman football all the way to senior football, it was a journey. I could think of it as a journey.
It was, man, and then it's especially for me. Going into freshman year, that was actually the second time I actually played football. I played football my 8th grade year, the first time in Redlands Midgets. Great opportunity. We didn't win a whole lot, but
Junior All-American was the shit.
Indeed it was. But so going into freshman year, I actually got called up to our JV squad. And man, start off as fullback, lineman, end up going to defensive tackle. And then my sophomore year, we just sprang up, went straight to varsity, got recognized as All-City as a sophomore. And then every single year, I just built on my reputation all the way through, man.
That sophomore year was a good year, man. That was you and Stanley, the wrecking crew.
Yeah, man.
That was the wrecking crew year.
It was a nice little breakout year too, because I was rocking about 245 at the time, barely 250.
That was 15, 16 years old.
Yeah. So it was like bulk up season for everyone. But yeah, that was my breakthrough, and it was great, brother. It was great. It was great throughout. But like I said, that our locker room at Citrus for all the people that was there with us, man.
Some characters, some menaces for sure.
Yeah, menaces
we
to
have
society.
Some menaces.
but we got the job done. Shout out to Aaron Vigil, man. That was one of our.
That was our guy. Leaders. Our freshman year, that was our guy.
Mr. Put you in the hospital respectfully. So
Mr. Break your neck.
So yeah, man, that was the high school career. I got a few offers going into my senior year, but unfortunately tore my meniscus. I still played my whole year. I actually had my best statistical year my senior year, going into playoffs and then going into the All-City game, All-Star game. Still played with that throughout, man. So a lot of blessings. And then from high school, I transitioned over to junior college football. Tried to play at Fullerton Junior College, but that grind to get back after a torn meniscus and partially torn ACL, that was a lot for me. And then I kind of realized after my first year there that sports in essence, wasn't going to be my grind.
The window was closing.
Yeah.
Take it back in a little bit too. I look at that senior year, bro. There were so many of us that were hurt. Like that, we were just all ibuprofen out. Mm-hmm. People lived in that freaking trainer room.
Yep.
And I look back at it now and you could see a lot of the issues that we had there were just from improper training or whether it was freaking just wrong instruction about how we were how the program was designed. Some of the stuff we were doing on practice days and game days, just
it wasn't adequate, especially in high school. I truly feel like for high school students and high school student athletes to really get that, to make it to that next step, they need proper nutrition, actual workouts, not just random mojos coming off the street to tell us how to run and jump and to do basic drills we can see on YouTube, but to correctly get us in the positions to succeed and to do things that we could emulate within the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's my big thing about, like, whenever I have any, like, athlete or wherever I have any kind of coming from a sports background, I always look and see what sports they're playing. I always like what movements, what exercises are going to translate most to them becoming better at that set position or that set sport. Because, yeah, like you said, we can go sit here and do fucking a whole bunch of squats, or we can sit here and do a whole bunch of bench press. But I was look up at it like, how rarely in a football game, or how clearly in a soccer game, or how clearly in a basketball game are you ever having to have the ability to freaking squat 300-400 pounds, or having to bench press 300-400 pounds?
Facts.
The only time I can think about, like, benching, for example, is like if you're a lineman. And the lineman, it's just a short amount of time that you have contact with somebody that realistically it's not even doing justice. Like, you want to focus on that lower body frame.
Yeah.
And so, it's little things like that. Because we were doing, like, power cleans, we were doing squats, we were doing incline press, shoulder press. And probably why a lot of our guys had bad shoulders was because we were sitting here freaking bruising our shoulders, destroying our shoulders, tackling and practicing, and then going into shoulder pressing or bench pressing. And then freaking game day,
we're just straight shot. Straight, no cardio. Yeah, boys. Yeah, we can get there with strength, but there was no lateral. Everything all around. But at the end of the day, man, I truly believe that that experience for us. I mean, a little bit of failed athletes. It's okay.
Failed athletes.
It's okay.
It's that little shout out. It's that little shout failed athletes.
It's a little shout out there. But I believe our quote unquote failure will help us reach that next generation to where we're about to make them ascend beyond belief. Oh yeah,
I'm glad you say that, because like we were just talking about this too, about you doing the whole like kind of agency and getting like help in the IE especially.
Yes.
Because a lot of guys, they don't have the, I want to say not the connection, but they don't have like the information not there for them. So like how you said, like we have that experience where like we know the information now. And I talked to you about this, I talked to Matt about this, but like coaching, it's not going to be the end game for me. But it's definitely going to be a part of the journey to really give back and put a lot of the young athletes in that position to be on the right track and not just go out there and hope for the best and hope that they can make it, but not be put in a position to do that.
Yes.
Because, like you said, there's so much talent. There's so much, especially here. And we're seeing that in the past couple of years. Me and you talk about this. The IE, man, becoming a hub for some good NFL talent.
Yeah.
NBA talent's kind of always been there a little bit too, but we're becoming a hub, so...
Yeah, and then the IE needs to get the respect we deserve, everybody, okay? IE stand up. I mean, when you look at the football players, they range from Patrick Chung. I mean, you got Kenny Clark out there. You have all these different football players coming out of the IE, and we have zero respect. I mean, they're shouting us out everywhere you go, but on the map, nobody's talking about it. But let me remind people again and again, the IE is here to stay. We will continue to flourish, and we are the pillars for this next generation to improve. So I am imploring everybody in the IE, whether you're a quote unquote failed athlete or you just weren't an athlete, but you're here to produce some, to help and everything else. Yes, let's do this. I want to start this train. I'm going to be starting hopefully a clothing brand soon to push this out. Like you were saying, John, being a sports agent, because college sports, we're seeing this trend here. College sports is money now.
Oh yeah, it's been money. Players can get money now.
There you go.
It's been money.
That's facts.
It's been, but the money's there. It's just they're finally getting compensated for it.
So it's like finally, and you know what I'm saying. So the mentality for high school students now is different than even us just 5-6 years ago. Because now,
you're not seeing money for at least, depending on what sport you're playing, 2-3 years. Now it's like, oh shit, I can make money as soon as I'm freaking graduated.
Yep. And when you look at it, because I'm so strong IE based, when you look at people coming from the Dino, from the West Side, Colton, Murder, and Mo Valley, you feel me? You see all these different ones. If you can tell a 16, 17-year-old young kid, hey, look, I can come here. If you get your books right, if you do your, like I said, studies, your work ethic and everything else, you can go make it to one of these schools and put some dollars in your pocket to help feed your family at home. There's another way to do it besides the drugs, besides hitting a lick in all these different avenues. If we push this positivity and say, look, the light is closer. You don't have to make it to the league. You can make it a college. And if you do it there and you thrive, then you'll be on the right path.
And if not, at least you're getting paid to get education, to do something else. You're getting paid to get education, so at least do something else with it. So yeah, no, the money's there. And I like how you said it because it's a great alternative, and I think we've seen it. I think we're seeing a lot of change because there's a lot more opportunity. That's the biggest theme. Where there's opportunity, you're going to be able to make something with it and do something with it. And so with these new laws being passed where they can make money, with just like you said, the IE kind of becoming more of a hub, to where now it's like guys in this area see these guys making and be like, oh shoot, I have a freaking basically a play-by-play to follow. I have a guide to follow because if this guy did it, I'm in the same freaking city, or I'm in the same district, or I'm in the same county. Like I can do this too.
Yep.
So I think if they're seeing that pan out, who was the guy that got drafted by the Dolphins last year? Out of Rev.
Oh yeah, Jalen Phillips.
Jalen Phillips, yeah. So Jalen Phillips right out of our backyard. Yeah, right out of our backyard, bro. Right out of our backyard. It's like that dude's was a first round pick made it to the league. What do you think that says? All the guys are at Citrus right now. That are Red, the RHS, Ukaipa, freaking Arroyo Valley, San G. Like if that dude got pulled, like you can do it. It can happen.
Yeah. Well, we even have that kid out of Arizona State right now from Cajon High School. I forget his name.
Yeah, Cajon's looking nice.
Cajon's
program.
Been up, stand up.
Yeah, Cajon's program blowing up. They're getting the respect now.
Yep. So yeah, brother, we really have that in the IE. I'm very grateful for that, and I'm very excited for the future, brother.
That's good. All right, well, let's go talk a little bit about the injury history. So I think we actually had to spot on about this potential of making it in athletics. But in your case, like you said, you kind of figured it out relatively quickly just with injuries and everything like that. It was sustainable for you. You kind of look at outlets. So as 25 years old, looking at the other side of it, like what would you sit here and tell somebody that's kind of fresh out of high school, that's trying to decide like, okay, like can I make it? Or like if they have injuries or they have some stuff going on, like what would be your advice in just like trying to get them transitions to that next day? Because it's hard, man. I know a lot of kids that struggle fresh. Like I was at that point too. We're like fresh out of high school, going to community, trying to figure out like, damn, like what am I going to do? Or like what does life look like after this? Like playing sports or just being in that controlled environment. That schedule. Like now I'm on my own. Like now I got to start figuring shit out. So like what would you say like from that end of it, like you said, going and having like all this great high school career, being this great player, and then kind of transitioning and being like, okay, like maybe this isn't the end all be all for me?
So with me personally, my advice to someone is my heart was at an 80% to get back to what I used to be. So if you believe in your heart right now, if you had a few injuries, colleges told you, hey, you got to go the JUCO route for a year or two to get your body right, to get your mind right, to come back. If you're not 100%, it's time to look elsewhere. Because if you're 110%, if that is your mind to get back, you go to a junior college that is proven to send guys out, that is proven to have a good medical team around them to help you rebuild, to rehab. If you have that with you, go all in. Because I wasn't that guy. When I went to Fullerton Junior College, I was 80% all in, but my mind was elsewhere. I wanted to make money. I needed to make money. I wanted to go after the social life that I didn't get to experience earlier on. So my mind wasn't all there. So if your mind's not 100% there, it's time to look elsewhere, and that's fine. It's okay. You're 18, 17, you're 19 years old. It's okay to expand your mind. It's okay to say that, football, my play for it is gone. But maybe you can go into coaching. You can go into kinesiology. You can maybe be the financial backing behind somebody like that. Yeah. And it's okay. It's all right. But it is a struggle. It was a mental struggle for me. Yeah. Like I said, being 19, 20 years old, having to tell myself that dream of even making it to the NFL, to even making it just to the combine, to just have a shot, to even just play college, for example, to be there. Like I said, my family was USC growing up. So I wanted to be a Trojan. I wanted to stand there, be in front of a crowd of thousands of people. But that wasn't God's plan. Yeah. So understanding that if you're not all in, you better have a backup plan. And even when you're all in, you should still have a backup plan. But that's just my personal kind of viewpoint on that. If you're not 110 in, you better find something else. But it's okay. Don't rush yourself. You'll have time.
I agree. I like that. And you know what? I'll say, like, not even from an athletic standpoint, but I think with any aspect of your life, like, you're really trying to do something and you want to invest your time and energy into something, like make sure like you're like that 100% in. Because if there's slight doubt, and I feel like this is a big part of being an entrepreneur, is like people are like, oh well, like can I just go and do this and see how it goes? I'm like, you can, but guaranteed in your mind, if your mind says that you're not in this 100%, then you're going to find some way to get out of it, or not want to do it, or gonna make an excuse. And in this in this field, like being an entrepreneur, you cannot take time off in the sense of like you can't sit here and be like, poor me. Like it's like you gotta make moves happen, make moves happen.
Yes, sir.
And so I say at any age and any person like that, like whatever you're doing, if you're not 100% about it, 100% like this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do, then that may not be your purpose. That may not be what gets you going. Like we were just talking about ET, and that's one lesson I've always taken from him. Like the day that you're not excited about something, the day you don't look forward to something, the day that you're just kind of just like, all right, well I gotta go to work, so I get to go to work, I get to go do this, so I got to go do this. Then that's just where you're checked out. Like you're just doing a service at that point.
Yeah, and then of course, shout out to ET, the hip hop preacher. You know that's one of the guys that we fundamentally listen to. To get my
that's
blood
the guy.
up. But like I said, I mean, in essence, when you wake up in the morning, if football is your real love, you will do everything and anything in your power to succeed. That is facts. And to your point, that's anything in life. If nursing, if it was teaching, if there's anything else, whatever drives you, that hunger, that unsustainable, starving ache in your stomach to where you will achieve that. If somebody has that, they're going to go get it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you were starving today, and you needed food, you would do anything in your power to get you some food, right? You just steal,
the lines,
you know,
the lines,
you want to push somebody over. I'm going to grab that, whatever it may be. That's what you got to be in sports. That's what you got to be in life.
I 100% agree. 100%. That's the lion's path right there.
There we go.
What does the lion do? If the lion's hungry, what is it going to do? It's going to go eat.
It's going to go eat. By any means necessary.
All right, man. Well, good. No, that's a good conversation. Really, really good conversation.
Yes, sir.
So, is there anything you want to touch up on about just post college, high school? Like, what are we up to now? Like I said, I know you got a couple things working with.
Yeah, brother, man. Yes. Yeah, so for me, what I kind of transitioned to, because with football, I had a sense of protection. You know, I felt like, you know, like I got to protect my own. I have to give it my all on that defensive line for my boys in the back. Whenever I succeeded,
the Coach
V's of the world, you know, for my family, I put that on my back. So how did that translate to life after high school, man, and really after college sports? I found my way in security. It's that mentality of I gotta protect people, you know, and my physical status, you know, like who I am as a man and the morals I got from football, it transitioned over to where now I'm working my butt off to get my own security business, man. I love working at the hospital that I work at right now, really putting in that work and protecting every single person and protecting the community, you know. You get a sense when you play sports, you know, football, soccer, whatever, you get that sense of camaraderie within your people. And then when your city got your back, you know, like when Citrus, when we made the playoffs and we saw kids that went to high schools from different high schools coming over to, you know, support us, you know, you feel that sense of like the community's on my back. So I got to put them on my back and do this for them. It's the same way when I'm in security. I got people I got to protect. I'm the last line of defense.
You got doctors, nurses.
That's what I have to do. So therefore, I got to put in that work. My attention, the focus has to be there. Because any slight type of weakness, any slight slip of focus, that could be somebody's life.
Yeah, you're right there. You're right there. That's good, man. That's good. That's important. That's an important job, and we talked a lot about it, just how you can level up with that too. So that's good, man. That's good to hear. So let's talk a little bit now. This is where the fun's going to start. This is where we're going to kind of transition the podcast a little bit. I've done it a couple times with Clint, where we talk a little bit about sports. But me and Shiloh train with each other, and I'd be having some conversations with him.
Yes,
and
sir.
This man is had a year, had a great 2021, 2022 football season, fresh off a fantasy football championship.
Yes, sir.
He's our fantasy king this year. Fantasy football king, man. What a run. I'll say a motherfucking run that he had in the playoffs. But not only that, he got dapped up. He double dipped. And his Rams, the LA Rams, put some respect on their name.
LA stand up.
Mr. A.D. Aaron Donald, that boy Matthew Stafford, OBJ.
Come on.
Who we missing?
We got Akers. We got all my boys there.
Ramsey,
Leonard
Ramsey.
Man, we got all my boys.
Hey.
Man. It's a big shout out. Yes, indeedy. I am beyond ecstatic. Call me the double king, if you will, whatever the case may be. I feel amazing, man. Just on the fantasy football playoff run. At one point, you know, I was down in the dumps. I believe I was like 3-5. Shout out to my king Saquon Barkley letting me down 3 years in a row. Drafted him with my first round pick.
With that Rams defense, though.
Oh yeah, all for the Ram dude, but it's okay. But yeah, brother, it was. You know, I could really correlate my fantasy football to the Rams season. You know, there was a big
Ups
dip.
and downs.
There's a whole lot of just like, what's gonna happen, man. But overcoming that, you know, it was just nothing but a blessing. And being a Rams fan, I have to touch on it, man. I had to grow up through the 2000 poverty days, man. But people don't understand that. They just think of, oh, we won the Super Bowl back in 2000, greatest show on turf. But people don't understand the after effects. You know what I'm saying? With the
Steven Jackson, the
Mark Bolgers of the world, the Steven Jackson carrying a young
Sam
team,
Bradford.
Hall of Fame Orlando Pace, man. We had all these different guys, and it was just poverty going up in elementary, man, middle school, the laughing stock. But then the young GOAT, the young genius, Sean McVay came into the building, had to change everything for us. And like I said, the quote-unquote F them picks, you can say that mentality really carried us over. And it worked. It worked. All those years that us Rams fans went through to get to this point, to me, it was worth it. I'm 25 years old. I finally got to witness a chip for my team
in LA,
and most importantly for my GOAT, Aaron Donald, the best defensive tackle to ever walk on the face of the earth.
AD, I'm not gonna argue with that. That's a bad man right there. That's a bad man.
All caps.
So hey, you forgot to leave out one poor person in your fantasy campaign.
Oh
that goat, the jersey
from the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, that man that was gonna be named after your firstborn.
Yeah, my firstborn, Amon St. Hurd, aka Amon St. Brown, my dog, my savior. The last 3 weeks of the season, Mr. plugged him in. Mr. Barrios plugged him in. Man,
what was your starting lineup for the championship game?
All I know is consisted of Mon St. Brown, Barrios. I even threw in Trey Area in there. Yeah, that was my quarterback situation with Lamar down. I had Mark Andrews in there. Excuse me. And I just have to look, bro. But clearly, it wasn't the team I drafted or the team I traded for. But
they got the job done.
Got the job
done.
And that's fantasy football for you, man.
Well, I'm going to let you enjoy the rain a little bit, man, but let's talk about this upcoming season, man.
We have to, brother.
Upcoming fantasy season, the league's been through a drastic change. A lot of familiar faces aren't in the same spots anymore.
Yep.
We got complete chaos, so, man, let's talk about
Let's get into
it, man. Obviously, NFC West. We'll start with you. I'm a Chargers fan, so I'm NFC West. What do you see in that division?
The NFC or AFC?
NFC.
NFC West. Okay,
Yeah.
So my Rams division, man.
The Rams taking it back?
Rams taking it back, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. With the offseason, we've already had pre-draft. Bringing in a guy like Bobby Wagner. Okay, people have to understand Bobby Wagner can not only stop the run, which he was number 3 in tackles last year, but his pass coverage is way overrated, and he's going to get our guys in the right spots. Last year, we had so much headache, and Troy Reader, bless his soul, he did great for us. Shout out to him.
We just got Troy Reader. We just signed him.
Yeah, but bless his heart. But he's no Bobby Wagner. Yeah. By any short of the imagination, guys were not lined up correctly. We were getting burnt. You can clearly see the miscommunication. Bobby Wagner is going to pull all that in, okay? We still have holes in the back end.
That secondary, your corner, besides Ramsey, bro, I do not like that secondary.
Yeah, we lost Williams, and Williams just, man, he underperformed greatly this year, so we still need to feel that need right there. But I believe our corner and safety, we'll get that handled and we'll be fine. So getting Wagner in there, making sure that we have Allen Robinson on the offensive end, our offense is going to be fine, and it's going to be, dare I say, maybe even more oiled than last year.
Cooper Kupp might be a number 1 pick in our fantasy league. Cooper Kupp might be a number 1 pick
with the 10th pick.
I'm talking about number 1 overall. I'm talking about number 1 overall.
I mean, I wish somebody would. I'm picking 10th this year, so if someone takes my Cupmeister away at 1, I'll be fine with it.
So you believe in your guy, Raheem Morris?
Oh, man.
You believe in that guy?
Raheem Morris. ... Mr. Headache himself. I'm gonna wait on Mr. Raheem. Okay, I gotta see another year with him. See what coverages he's gonna bring. See what he's gonna do with J Ram against some of these elite wide receivers. Too many times, man, we didn't have Ramsey on these elite guys. And I understand for a defensive scheme, but you gotta have Ramsey on some of these top corners consistently. We just don't have the depth to really go through that. So to really tie it back into the NFC West kind of division staple, I really see us being back on number 1. And NFC West is still the best division in the NFC, by the way, to remind people. And I really believe that between the Cardinals and San Francisco, man, that's going to be a tough fight. But
personally, like I think the Rams are going to take it back too. I would say maybe the 49ers, but I just think there's too many question marks there. Now with the whole Debo situation, not knowing he's going to be there, you still don't know who the quarterback's going to be. They said they're going to trade Garoppolo, and now they're waiting. And it's like, we got a small sample size from Trey Lance, but how big of a leap does he take? And is it that enough to take you guys? And we don't know that. So Cardinals, I thought are going to regress. I thought the Cardinals were just going to regress. I
still think Rams take an NFC West. I'll stay with the Niners go second, Arizona goes third, and then I still believe that all 3 of these teams will be double-digit win teams like we were last year. I truly believe so.
I think the Cardinals take a step back. I think the Cardinals go like 8-8. I can see them going like 8-8.
Looking at the NFC landscape, I mean, maybe Philly makes that next step. Let's
go to NFC East. Who do you think? Who do you guys on NFC East?
I'm gonna shock a lot of people. NFC East.
The NFC least. The least. Is that what you're trying to say?
It's all the same.
Yeah.
For the NFC East, Philly is taking that division.
Really? Okay, you're taking Philly? Yes. Not Big D?
Not overrated Dallas.
Overrated Dallas.
Sorry, Mr. Martinez. Shout out, but no. For Philly's taking that taking that division, they really are making that next step. They still need to get solidified in the back end also with them, but they have the answer. Run the football with Jalen Hurts. They were top 5 in rushing. I believe they were number 1. Don't quote me on that, but they were top 5 in rushing to end the season. I believe the last 6 to 8 games.
When the freaking Miles Sanders died.
yes. But it's like whoever they plugged in, they're going to run rapid. So I just believe that and the fact that Dallas has had a F offseason so far. They have no additions whatsoever. You lose Randy Gregory, Dante Fowler, great, a guy that has 5 sacks in the past 2 years. You get him on a 1-year, $3 million contract. There's just nothing that wows me with Dallas to say that they're definitively the best in that division.
You like what they did in the receiving corps?
I mean, yeah, I did. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You get in, I believe it's Washington in there. You re-sign Gallup, who's coming off of that ACL tear. CeeDee Lamb is now asked to be that guy now.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things to where, of course, that could be a blessing, but that can also be a curse too. It's kind of something we have to see.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I kind of like Washington in that division. I think Washington could be sneaky.
With Carson Wentz?
And I'm into an argument a couple of weeks ago. Here's the thing about Carson Wentz. And I think it was with you. Carson Wentz isn't a great quarterback. He's not a horrible quarterback. So let's look at that division, how bad it was last year. That team was, I think, 2 games away from making the playoffs?
I believe so, yes.
So let's say that the Carson Wentz gives them 3 more wins, but just have a competent quarterback play.
Let's see. Yeah.
If they have competent quarterback play, they have a good defense. They have a good coach, Ron Rivera. They got some They got some good skill players. They got Scary Terry there. They got Antonio Gibson. I think they signed somebody else too. So there is a team there that can do something.
Oh yes,
there's a team that can do something there.
Oh yeah, they have talent.
And I feel like if that division's the same as last year, and you look at Washington and just the upgrade they've made, they have some defensive pieces still there. They could compete. They could compete. So am I going to say, oh yeah, they're going 100%? No, but I think that they could be a real opportunity there to upset people in that division.
I see that. Yeah. I can see that, brother.
All right, let's go NFC South. NFC South. That's a tough one right there. That's a toss-up right now.
Okay.
I know Brady's back there, but
Brady's back, but New Orleans, that's their Super Bowl, which is against the Bucks. So let's go ahead and do this. I don't care who Carolina gets at quarterback. They're not leaping over New Orleans or Tampa.
Hey, what if Darnold comes back and plays like he did at the beginning of the season? What do you think the team is? Because Darnold was balling out. He was balling out.
He was. I mean, so if Sam Darnold is going to be a competent quarterback for more than 6 games, then that can change things. Then the Carolina Panthers have a real shot of overtaking the Saints at that number 2 because to Tampa Bay's, I mean, in essence, we can all kind of clinch them in as that number 1 for now. I mean, they didn't really lose a lot of pieces on that end. You get Tom Brady coming back, who doesn't have Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians was more of a, as we know, deep shot type of guy. Tom Brady in the schemes last year, talking, when we had several reportings, he loves to dink it and dunk.
Well, I don't know if you saw Arians did an interview like a week ago, and he was like, I don't think I should get enough credit. I think people give me too much credit when it comes to offense. I think he was a kind of throwing shit at Tom. I think they give Tom way too much credit for what he did with the offense. He's like, it's really Byron Leftwich that kind of keeps the offense going and what we do. So I'm like, if Byron Leftwich is still there, how much is it really going to change? And like I said, if there really was a disconnect between Bruce Arians and Tom Brady already, how much does that change with what the offense does?
I feel like the offense is going to be better. I feel like they're going to be more efficient. I don't believe Tom Brady leads the league in passing like he did last year.
I don't think so either.
But I just believe that they'll be...
Because Godwin's still going to be hurt too.
But Russell Gage is a sneaky pickup for them because he can solidify some of that role. You still have Mike Evans. We don't know about Gronk yet, but you do have that rushing attack.
I think Gronk's coming back. I think Gronk's just trying to get out of OTAs.
True.
I think Gronk's just looks like, you know what, I want to be retired, but then come June, I'll be like,
I'll be back.
I just think he's just milking it so he don't have to go to OTAs.
That's a Gronk deal. I don't hate him for that. So, little party Gronk, it's okay. But yes. So for me personally, I feel like that offense will still be a top five offense. Now the question is that defense. Yeah. Is that defense gonna come
Todd
up?
Bowles is the head man. Now, hey, you know what? Good for Todd Bowles, man. Todd Bowles, I'm happy. I don't think he got the justice with that first job with the Jets.
No.
So coming this opportunity to have this team, I'm really hoping he does well with it.
Yes, indeed. Because let's look at it. Mike Tomlin was the last African American coach to really have either a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback or maybe just a Pro Bowl caliber, just a quality quarterback. In essence. Todd Bowles deserved the second chance. Now he has it in Tampa, but now there's even more pressure on him than anybody else because now you have the goal. The expectation is now you're going to the Super Bowl or bust, or at least the NFC Championship.
I think they make playoffs. I think that the bare minimum, like you said, NFC Championship. Like if they don't make that game, then they're like, what's happening here? Yeah. But I think he'll still have a fair shot of it. If they do well this year, no one's gonna be like, wasn't Todd Bowles that? Here the thing is, Brady needs a good defense. If Brady does not have a good defense, historically he doesn't do well because how does Brady win? Time management. Time management. So if Brady doesn't have a good defense that can keep him off the field or get off the field quickly, where Brady can just run the clock, then he's not going to do well.
That's it. You're right.
So then what we have?
All right.
I'm taking Bucks in there. I'm taking Bucks. We have Saints, Carolina, Atlanta's. We don't even know what Atlanta's going to look like.
Yeah, we don't know what they're going to look like, and it's surprising that they did finish 7-10 last year. So it's really one of those things.
Yeah, but no Matt Ryan.
No Matt Ryan. It's literally a true rebuild. You have the Marcus Mariota experiment. just
I like
offensive
Mariota.
line. They just have too many holes for me to say that automatically they're going to be a little
right.
just a playoff team. So now let's just transition over to
NFC North.
NFC North real quick. To me, this is ooh.
It's a Green Bay division.
I'm actually gonna switch up my pick. I'm actually gonna go Minnesota to win the NFC North this
really,
season.
with Kevin O'Connell as the head coach?
Yes.
You like Kirk Cousins, Kevin O'Connell?
And it's not even that I like Kirk get the bag Cousins.
Yeah,
boy.
that's all that man does is get the bag.
Shout out to that man's agent. He's been eating since day one. But Minnesota to me, they just Dalvin Cook's injury could kind of set them that. Even though we had another IE great Alexander Madison really doing great work for him, like really doing great work for Minnesota in the relief. Justin Jefferson is just that dog, and the fact that you can replace Devontae Adams with a great rookie wide receiver. You know, you can replace him with certain things. But Devontae Adams just comes up clutch big. And that's what Aaron Rodgers will miss in Green Bay. He'll still put up good numbers. He'll still, they'll still win some games. But I believe that Minnesota, from an 8-9 season, will win 12 games, if not 11 games this season. Green Bay will probably finish at around the 10-win mark. Maybe below average, 9 win, 9-8 season, but overall, I see Minnesota winning that division.
Really? All right. Well, I guess I think it's Green Bay's division, but I think the Bears are going to surprise people. I like what the Bears did this offseason. They lost. They definitely lost some talent, but I think you kind of have a clear direction now of what this team is going to do and what they're going to be.
Okay.
And I feel like the Bears are one of those franchises that when they have a clear vision, they have a clear plan of execution, they're going to do it. So I think the Bears, if they have the right guy, the coach, Matt Eberflus, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, Matt Eberflus, defensive guy. So defense will probably be pretty nice. And then I like Justin Fields. I really do like Justin Fields.
I do.
I really do like Justin Fields, and I think that they can do some good. Now that he has a clear vision about what they want from him, what he can do, I think he can ball out. So I don't know, but I still think Green Bay that division. Aaron Rodgers is that guy. It's Aaron Rodgers' division until it isn't. Okay. That's how I look at it.
I like that, brother. I like that. So let's go ahead and transition to the AFC real quick.
AFC, this is my division.
I get it.
The hyper competitive AFC with like 10 Pro Bowl quarterbacks.
Indeed. So you know what? Since we're gonna start with your boys, the LA Chargers, let's go with AFC West. Who's coming out of it?
See, and we just talked about this. I'm going to be completely honest. I cannot sit here and say that any one of these teams in the division cannot be division winners. I look at all the teams. I can look at the strengths and weaknesses. And literally, I just told you this. It comes down to, I think, just the play, the injuries, how the schedules work out, to where I think the difference maker is going to be like which team can sweep a team in that division that might come out on top. Because it's going to be a dogfight. There's not one clear-cut team I look at in here and you'd be like, yeah, they're the best. Like, I could have said that a year ago about the Chiefs. The Chiefs are still the Chiefs, but like, on defense, they don't have Honey Badger. He's gone.
Yeah.
They didn't re-sign Melvin Ingram, so they lost pass rusher. He was a big influence on that turnaround last season when that defense flipped. So I know what it looks like without them on there, and it wasn't good. And then obviously they lose Tyreek, so then I have to fill that void. So it's like they're Pat Mahomes is still that guy, so they're still going to be good. I'm not saying they're not going to be great, but just they're a weaker team, and everyone else got better. I look at what we did. We picked up Khalil Mack. We picked up J.C. Jackson. We got some interior linemen. And that was our Achilles heel, was we couldn't control the clock. So a team would just run all over us. And when eat up yards, get 5 yards here, get 6 yards here, get 7 yards here, to where guys are tired. And now our secondary is giving up plays to where that we would just get eat up. So if we fix that problem, we have an offense that can score with anybody.
Yes, sir.
So it's one of those things to where, like, if we have that more complete team, then we can play with anybody. That's the one thing I'll say about Charger games is put us on prime time, and literally we'll play up to anybody and make any game interesting. So I would like to say it's going to be a Charger, but then I look at Denver and with Russell Wilson and having those receiving core, having that run game, that they're going to be a problem. They're going to be. I'm not going to say and act like they're not going to be. They're going to be an actual problem to where it's going to be a dogfight. That's what it's going to come down to play better football. Every Sunday, it's going to be down to come play better football.
Okay, so
and Raiders, they got Devontae. They just exited DC. They already have Waller. They have Renfro. So they got pieces too. The defense looks nice with Crosby.
Chandler Jones. Big
there.
dog. I know all about him.
Yeah, Chandler Jones.
Thank
so it's
God
just like if that works out to the way they expect it to, then like they're a threat too. And I mean, obviously, like our division, they already play tough as it is. Mm-hmm. So you had all these teams in there, and it's like I said, I think to sit here and say that there's going to be one team that wins, it's literally a toss up. It's going to be whoever comes down every Sunday. Whoever can bring out the best freaking 60 minutes of football and just roll the season.
I get it.
So I'm gonna go Chargers because that's my team. I'm gonna say Chargers are gonna win it, but in all honesty, it's a toss up.
I see. I like that take. You were very informative. You gave everybody their flowers.
Yeah.
Me personally, looking at this, I'm gonna go out on the limb. I'm going to say the Chargers will be 4th in that division.
Oh.
They will have their down year this year. I believe...
Our down year this year? We had the down year shit. Damn, Shiloh.
Yeah, but mind you, I'm saying this because I believe that your division, like the NFC West last year, will have 3 teams with double-digit wins. I don't know how. I mean, I want to say 4. I want to say every single one of you guys can, but I believe that the Chiefs will finish 9-8 this season. I believe that their defense, no matter who they put back there. Now, this is of course pre-draft. If they do anything, we will touch back on this subject later. But right now, I'm saying Chiefs at 4. 3rd place right now in my.
Is it Chargers at 4 or Chiefs at 4?
Chiefs at 4.
Chiefs at 4. Okay, so not Chargers.
Yeah, sorry.
Chiefs will have. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for correcting me that.
Yeah.
I say Chiefs at 4th. I will say Denver will be 3rd with 10 wins.
Okay.
Then I see Vegas 2nd with 11 wins, losing the tiebreaker to you guys.
Ooh, okay. So you have us first.
So how you were saying to your point, I believe that the Raiders will have problems with you guys because I just believe scheme-wise, Staley for that Raiders team with Mr. INT because you need a corner to go up against Devontae. Devontae's going to get his. But as I look at it right now, Denver's corners are good, but I believe that offense will have a tough time against that Raiders defense. I believe that the Chargers overall, with their additions pre-draft to what you guys already have, will have enough firepower to really go toe-for-toe. Justin Herbert will have another, I'll say, an MVP caliber season. Put it in. Justin Herbert will be top 3 in the MVP voting. So I'm saying that the Chargers come out on that division on top.
No, so the one thing I'm going to add and say like this is I got frustrated because last year I didn't like the way Staley was running our defense with some of the stuff we were doing. Mm-hmm. And I think the pickups that he made in free agency with what's the guy, Staley Johnson or Austin Day or something. Austin Johnson and then Joseph Day.
Joseph Day that came over from the Rams.
Yeah.
A solid pickup. Great run defender, can rush the passer, but an even better personality. If you guys
and
can
it's
check
like
out.
I think free agency, like it's those little signings you make. Like the big guys are great because they're going to be difference makers. But like I look at those little signings of where we were getting beat up the middle, and you go get 2 guys like that on top of Khalil Mack on the other end of freaking Joey Bosa, and it's just like that defense is going to be better. That defense is going to be better. Now with our Achilles heel. Yeah. But yeah, let's go with next division. What do we have?
All right. Let's go ahead and go to the AFC South.
Oh, yeah.
The gutter division.
The
gutter division. So and then I'll go ahead and take lead from here. I'm going to do it. The Colts are going to win this division with Matty Ice leading them. Matty Ice will have a Phillip Rivers type season. He comes to Indianapolis. I know they're a little bit devoid of some weapons. You have Michael Pitt Jr. on the rise right now. If T.Y. can stay healthier for more than 3 games.
There. I don't think T.Y. is there.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah.
So maybe T.Y.'s gone. So I think Indianapolis with their first round pick should get one of these deep wide receiver class.
Yeah,
boys.
this wide receiver class is speed.
They have to.
Speed.
You have arguably, he was on pace for the MVP last year. Jonathan Taylor, who had a breakout year, an amazing offensive line. That team was just void of a quarterback that can make smart decisions at crucial times. You have 2 opportunities at the last 2 games of the season to win, and you flake on both, and you flake on the Jacksonville Jaguars to not go in.
The worst team in the league.
Worst team in the league.
Hey, Urban Meyer's not there to haunt them anymore.
Yep. No, he's not. So I truly believe in that division. The Colts will win, and the Colts are going to win about 11 plus, and that the Tennessee Titans, I am not sold on Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill is not that guy. So because of that, they will fall to second place. And then I'll let Houston and the Jags kind of fight it out for those two spots.
I think Houston. I know you're going Houston. You're your boy Davis Mills. I know you love your boy Davis
Mills. Give me Money Mills.
I know you love your boy Davis Mills.
Love that, man.
Nah, I agree. I think that's Indianapolis' division to lose. If they don't win that division, then that's just a lack of effort, like a lack of coaching. They should win that division.
There we go.
Let's go next division.
All right, let's transfer over to. I have to. AFC East. AFC East.
Ooh,
the big East.
Man.
Okay.
It got better. It definitely got better.
It definitely got a lot better. And my heart is torn with this division because of all the Miami pickups. And
I'm going to be straight up. Until Miami proves me otherwise, by having a successful playoff season, I will not believe the hype of Miami free agency until I see it happen. So they're out as it is. I love what they did. I love their coach. I love the coach pickup. I think it's going to be big for Tua. But until I see it, like I said, free agent they do well in free agency every other year or so. And it's like you never see it translate. They'll start out well, but then there's that collapse. So it's just like between Buffalo and New England, I don't think I haven't seen them get over that hump. And I can't sit here and say that I feel like they're over that hump, especially because we don't know what Tua is going to be like. We really don't know what Tua is going to be like.
That's true.
I know what I have in Josh Allen.
Yep.
I know what I have in Josh Allen. I know what I'm going to get from him. And then we saw from a taste of Mac Jones. We know what we're going to get from Belichick. So it's like that's going to be a tough decision. But, I like Buffalo. I think Buffalo is hungry. I think Buffalo, they had it in the bag, and then they didn't this past year. Yep. So I think they're going to come out with a little chip, a little edge to them, and hopefully make the most of it.
Here we go, my friend. I'm going to go ahead and just rock with you on that one. Buffalo will win that division. That's everybody's consensus pick around the league. They're actually the
Super Bowl favorites.
Yep, they're Super Bowl favorites, and we're gonna ride that. With me personally, I believe it's actually a close second for number 2 between New England and Miami. I am gonna go on the train with Miami from the sense of having their new coach. I forget his name, but falling under that Kyle Shanahan tree with the Niners. Miami's gonna be very motion based. They're going to get Tyreek. They're going to get their weapons in space. And I feel like New England doesn't have the DBs and everything else to really compete with this offense. And they're going to run the football more, which is going to relieve a lot of the stress off of Tua. I'm going to have Miami in second place in that division, having the tiebreaker with New England. Both of those teams winning 10 games.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, the Jets will be the Jets.
No love for Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
No love for Zach Wilson?
We're just going to keep that there. We don't even need
I like Zach Wilson. I want Zach Wilson to be good.
Yeah. I mean, we just want the Jets to be good, for God's sakes. We just want the Jets to sniff a playoff hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. I like Slaw, too.
Okay.
I like Slaw, too. Hopefully they can figure it out.
Now, finally, we're gonna end this segment, everybody. We're going to end with probably the most competitive, besides the AFC West. We're going to go AFC North here, everyone.
That's going to be tough.
A dog division that just underperformed due to, we could just say quarterback play. This whole division, when you look at besides Cincy, Pittsburgh could have won a lot more games.
They got Noodle Arm Ben.
Yeah. With Noodle
Retirement Home Ben.
With Statue of Liberty himself. Then you have the Baker Mayfield-led Cleveland Cavaliers, which all they needed was a healthy Baker Mayfield. Or
I told you that it makes me mad. Like there's some athletes that are too separate for their own good. For whatever reason, they thought leaving him in there was going to be great. I feel like that team would have been so much better if he would have taken 2 or 3 weeks off, got healthy, and then came back.
Yeah, because he was out there throwing duds and noodles, and you had Case Keenum back there. And we all understand who Case Keenum is. As a Rams fan, I know who Case Keenum is.
Yeah.
but he's better than Baker, and they should have won. They should have been better than 8 and 9.
And then the Ravens, Lamar got hurt, and then just
they just went downhill. And shout out to Mr. Hundley. He did everything he could, but there's just that difference in that with the quarterback that we see in the NFL. It's those crunch time moments. Can you make the throws and the plays? And with John Harbaugh going in on 4th down when the game's on the line and everything else like that, you love that from your coach. And as a Baltimore Ravens fan, if I was there, I would appreciate that from my coach because we're going for the win. But it's just you didn't have Lamar in those cases. I mean, the Green Bay game, I remember with Ty Huntley. I mean, there's certain things that you have Lamar in there. You're not missing the playoffs.
All the knocks Lamar gets, this is the one thing I'm going to say about Lamar. Why I've loved Lamar since coming out of college. It's a personality. It's energy. Mm-hmm. He's a leader. He's the leader of that football team. And when your leader's not there, like you could tell. So like we could sit here and say like all we want about is quarterback play, but Lamar Jackson's a football player, a great football player. He's a leader, and when he's not there, that team is the same.
Yeah, and like I said, that they were coming off of 2 running backs that tore their ACLs.
Yeah, that running back room was a freaking.
It's just.
Retirement home too.
Whoever had a pulse and could run for 10, 15 yards come here.
I think Le'Veon Bell made that room too at one point.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Don't know what happened, but he made it. And like I said, Lamar, and that's what's so great about Lamar. And then we'll talk about, these quarterback contracts and everything else in future. But when you have a great quarterback, that could supplement other areas and weaknesses that you have within your team. And that team was the most decimated team in football. Yeah. DBs were absolutely just thrashed. That team should not even have won 8 games. But Lamar Jackson pulled it out of his Houdini hat.
Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews, my king, by the way. That was my tight end one, by the way, just to let everybody know.
Yeah.
So, okay, so now we're going to go into picks.
Whew. So we do each conference?
So for the AFC North to end it, who is going to come out on top? We got an upgraded O-line.
I don't think Pittsburgh's going to be as bad as people think. So Pittsburgh is still going to be competitive.
Okay.
I don't think Cleveland.
With Deshaun Watson.
If Deshaun Watson doesn't miss games.
Which all reports state that it's leaning towards he will miss some time.
Yeah.
They don't know how much. That's why I believe they got Jacoby Brissett. I believe.
I'll go Bengals still. I like what the Bengals in the free agency. The Bengals really attacked what they needed most, and that was offensive line. So if Joe Burrow has some protection, anything better than last year, and with the way he did, I feel like that defense still is going to be pretty solid. I like the way Joe Burrow plays the game, and I think he'll be a little more protected. He'll have a little more time. He won't have to be as running around, or he won't have to be as dependent on his arm. Mm-hmm. That I think he can. They can. It'll be close. I think it'll be close, but I think it'll go Cincy, Cleveland, Baltimore, and then Steelers. But I think it'll be one of those divisions to where it's gonna be really, really close.
So you're pretty much saying that the AFC North is going to be like the AFC West, pretty much like a straight dog fight, and it's really going to come down to your divisional wins.
It can even come down to conference seeding. Honestly, it can even come down to conference seeding. Like I look at it the same way. Like if one of someone in the AFC West doesn't live to expectations and they go down, then it's like I could see an AFC North team, 2 teams in the AFC North coming out, or 3 teams in the AFC North coming out.
Oh, I see.
So I think it's more not even a division thing; it's a conference thing. Because if you just look at it, it's just like that division has the talent. Like I said, the Steelers are the Steelers. Mm-hmm. I hate the fucking Steelers, but I know damn well like Mike Tomlin's a great coach.
Never had a losing season.
They're going to be better with Trubisky than they were with Ben. And if they draft somebody and that quarterback is lights out, like they could be right in the fray of it. So.
Okay.
I think all those teams will be like hovering around the 500 mark.
Got it.
I think they'll be all around the 500 mark, and it just depends on how the season goes.
I like that, brother. I'm gonna go ahead and go with you on that one. This is all pre-draft, by the way. Checking in with everybody.
Yeah.
Pre-draft. So since he has holes in the back end, but that offense, I'm not betting against Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. T. Higgins With Boyd, yeah, no.
Yeah. Jamar Chase might be the best receiver in the NFL. Might be the best receiver in the NFL.
On his way there. Yeah. So we're going to go Cincy at 1. I'm going to go ahead and go... I'm going to go Baltimore at 2. Cleveland 3. Pittsburgh at 4. And then the win totals, we'll kind of get into that a little later. But to your point,
it's hard. I think they'll all be around 500.
I don't see I see Mike Tomlin having a 9-8 season, still a winning season. But of course, it's just that quarterback position. Yeah. They don't have anybody dynamic.
That defense is nasty.
It's nasty unless their formula would be to run the football, great defense, and
Najee is great.
I know. So
Trubisky took the Bears with Nagy, so never say never.
Never say never. That's why we love football.
Exactly. So that's why we love football. So let's go on to the next segment. So we're going to look at the conferences, and we got to pick surprise teams.
Ooh, surprise teams. It's called sleeper pick, but we'll go ahead and do this. You know what? Since we're in the AFC, let's start there in the AFC.
AFC.
The AFC, and then I'll have you go first. Who are you feeling?
I think the surprise team out of the AFC. I'm going to go with we were talking about the Steelers. I think the Steelers. I think they could really be the surprise team. I like the defense. Devin Bush is a bad man. They still got T.J. Watt, Cameron Hayward. Who did they just? Mika Fitzpatrick. I like that defense. There's continuity there. I like that defense. So they're literally on their offense, no Juju. They can let Claypool. Who's the other receiver they have? Deontay Johnson. They can let those guys go out and be this is a receiver deep draft class. They can get some talent there. Najee might be. I will say this. Najee might be the best running back in football this upcoming year.
Here we go.
I think Najee could be the best running back in football this year. So I like all the things they have. And when you're a quarterback away and you have Mitchell Trubisky. You have a draft class that's not necessarily quarterback deep, but it's NFL. All it takes, it doesn't have to be the best pick, it takes the right pick. If they can get a guy that comes in and fits that culture and just lights out, then I think they could be a surprise pick. I think everything in the place for them to be a surprise pick.
I like that, brother. My surprise pick. Houston will be an 8-8 ball club. Actually, you know what? There is no 8-8 because of the extra game.
Yeah.
Houston will win 9 games this season. They will have their first winning season this year with Money Mills in his second year.
You love Mills.
I love
Mills.
I love Mr. Money Mills from what I saw from a Houston team that I truly believe if they get another weapon, if they get one of these nice star-studded wide receivers, they need help all over the place. They just got some depth over here in free agency at corner and linebacker. If they solidify themselves with a nice, solid running back, which I believe they could get in the second round, you got Iowa State's running back. You got a few other guys flying underneath the radar. If they can get one of those star-studded, a wide receiver to complement Cooks, who is a proven 1,000-yard wide receiver, that defense under Lovie Smith. They weren't as bad as people think. That defense, I believe, was top 20, top 25. They're actually top 20 towards the end of the year when they were going on their little runs. I just have faith in that Houston team with Lovie Smith.
I like Lovie Smith. Great coach. I think great coach.
Yeah, that is
I like that pick.
That's my surprise. Now let's go over to the NFC. Give it to me.
You mean AFC?
No, the NFC, because we touched on.
Oh, okay, NFC. I'm sorry, yeah, NFC.
Yeah, let's go over to the NFC surprise team. You want to lead off for me?
Ooh, I think I'm gonna go with Chicago. I like Chicago. Yep. I really like Chicago. Like I said, they're historically a great franchise. When they have clear direction about what they want to do, of what the plan is, they execute it. And I like Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields got put into a horrible situation last year from a very prideful coach. And so I look at it in the situation they're in now. I think I like the talent they have. I think they have Montgomery. Great foundational baller. Great foundational piece to have with Fields. Wide receiver deep draft class. Get him a weapon or two. It'll be nice. That defense, like I said, I know they lost Khalil Mack, but I look at it, it still has some good pieces in place. Also, they can go build in the draft.
Yeah.
I look at Chicago, and it's really, really good ran franchise, and I think that they can turn around quickly. So this is a team we're talking about that was 2 years away from the playoff run.
That's true.
Like I said, Will Mitchell's risky, and Matt Nagy is their coach.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at it and I'm just like, I think they can do something.
Okay, so they finished 6-11. Minnesota finished 8-9 in the division, but behind the Green Bay Packers. Do you see them usurping Minnesota as the second team in that division?
Yeah. I'll sit here and say this. I think Chicago could win that division. I think Chicago
You're
win that
going
division.
as far as
I would say they could
winning.
surprise them when they could win the division. I think they'll make the playoffs, but I think they can make it as a division winner. I'm being honest, yeah.
I love that.
I know it's Aaron Rodgers' division, but at the same time, like I said, when you have all the right pieces, you have a good foundation of stuff to go, you can surprise some people. And I think they have the ability to win that division.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about culture. I mean, if that Chicago team could get an infusion of youth and just get that right mindset, I mean, that they could have like to kind of your standards, you're saying like they could have like a Memphis Grizzly type of bounce to where no one sees it, but you get a culture change, you get you a superstar in Justin Fields, you run the football, you get you an offensive line, you add another piece in there, another right rugged. Okay, I can feel you on that, and that's the one where, you know, I can see that. My pick. I'm going with Gutter Boys, man. My last pick was the Houston Texans. I'm gonna have to do it. The Detroit Lions.
Oh,
Detroit Lions. Same thing.
About the Lions. Yeah, talk about the Lions.
Same thing. I guess you can call me a just hopeful wishing here. And we're going to see this on Hard Knocks. Dan Campbell is an amazing coach, motivator, but he had those boys, even though they were taking L's left and right, you saw the passion, the drive. I mean, come on, let's face it. They win that game against Baltimore. Justin Tucker doesn't hit the kick of all kicks, and a lot of these things they have. Jared Goff, I mean, bless his soul as a Rams fan, you know.
Is this a favor to him? Is this a favor to him?
Mr.
I know you owe some credit to him. I know you owe some capital to him.
Something like that. You know, Goff, man, he's not a horrible quarterback. Great man. He could really get the job done for you if he just continues to mature. I love Amon St. Brown. I love Swift. I love Williams with that double duo.
Swift just needs to stay healthy.
That's the point. If Swift can stay healthy, if we're going to talk fantasy standpoint, that's a top 10 fantasy.
No, I had him his rookie year, man, and he did some damage for me, but just when you're in and out of lineup, man, it's tough.
So I'm saying the Detroit Lions has a nice lift. Like Houston, I see them as 8-9, or of course, if people want to put them at 9-8, well, whatever, either above 500 or just below. But I don't see them having another double-digit losing season again.
Like that.
Like I said, great talent. Get that defensive side on the way. They have a great young corner over there. I just have faith that this is their year to where the poverty put the brown bags over your head. Detroit Lions, take them off now. It's time to take them off. You're gonna have some hope.
All right, I like it. All right, then we hit over the hour mark, so I feel pretty good about everything. Good episode, some good takes. We'll definitely be doing this more. So this is kind of like the new format I'm trying to do. Like Shiloh's going to be on here. I want to do something with like Eric with baseball, but maybe Eric can play with baseball. Or we talk about the Angels a little bit. Talk about what's going on in the MLB. Get Adrian on here. Talk a little bit some football, some wrestling, maybe. We're gonna expand a lot more within this cast. Yeah, Matt will still be on here on occasion, but it's more just about expanding. I know Matt's not really into sports, so it's kind of hard to have him to sit here and like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Deer in the headlights, just nodding his head.
Yeah, this fool still thinks Dave Baker's his kicker.
Let the man be.
So now Matt will still be on here, but we're going to be getting more episodes like this on there and just getting more different personalities and stuff like that. But good episode, Shiloh. Appreciate you
for having me on, man. Like I said, I'm really excited to join the cast here and to make a lot more future videos. We're gonna make this funner. We're gonna have a different segments pop up. We're gonna get some little transitional noises in here. We're gonna get this up, man.
I like it. All right, guys. Till next time, I'll catch you guys later.
Later.